The wind howls, carrying with it the faint scent of blooming flowers and the promise of warmth to come. A lone figure, cloaked in the deepest red, stands atop a hill, overlooking the vast snow-covered landscape that stretches out before them. Her breath forms clouds in the air as she watches the first rays of sunlight break through the horizon, heralding the end of another long, cold winter. The snow crunches beneath her boots as she begins to descend the hill, the sound muffled by the last layer of white that covers the ground, announcing that spring is here. As she draws closer to the village, she can hear the faint sound of laughter and music wafting through the air. It is Eostre's feast, the annual celebration of the goddess' return and the promise of rebirth and renewal. The village is decorated with brightly colored streamers and ribbons, adorned with symbols of spring and fertility. The scent of roasting lamb and steaming vegetables fills the air, mingling with the aroma of freshly baked bread. The figure reaches out the outskirts of the village and makes her way through the throng of revelers, nodding in greeting to those she recognizes. She is not surprised to find the high priestess, clad in flowing robes, presiding over the feast. She spots the figure from across the crowd and smiles warmly, motioning for her to join at the wooden table. As she takes a seat, the figure notices the empty chair beside them, reserved for Eostre herself. A simple crown of flowers adorns the chair, signifying her presence amongst them. A servant pours her a cup of mead, its sweet, honeyed aroma filling her nostrils. The figure raises the cup to her lips, taking a sip as she reflects on the year that has passed and the one yet to come. The high priestess stands, raising her hands to quiet the excited chatter of the crowd. "My dearest friends and fellow worshippers," she begins, her voice carrying effortless across the gathered throng. "We are gathered here today to celebrate the return of our beloved goddess Eostre. It is she who brings us the spring, the rebirth, and the promise of new life. As we feast and revel, let us not forget the sacrifices she has made and the hardship she has endured to bring us to this moment." The figure sitting beside the high priestess nods in agreement, taking another sip of mead. She wonders how much longer the feast will last, for her stomach is already quite full from the endless supply of delicious food. But she knows that the festivities will continue until the last bit of meat has been eaten and the last drop of mead has been drunk. It is a time for merriment and celebration, a time to forget the troubles of the past and embrace the hope of the future. As the sun begins to sink lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the village, the revelry reaches its peak. Dancers take to the center of the gathering, spinning and laughing as they perform traditional dances in honor of Eostre. The sound of music fills the air, carried on the breeze, mingling with the laughter and cheers of the crowd. The figure sitting beside the high priestess leans back in her chair, watching the celebration unfold with a contented smile. She wonders how many more years she will be able to join in the festivities, to feel the warmth of the spring sun on her skin, and the joy that comes with the return of their beloved goddess. She knows that the world is a fragile place, that change is a constant, and that nothing lasts forever. But for now, in this moment, she is grateful for the peace and prosperity that has been brought to this village. And she raises her cup in a toast to the hope and promise of the coming season. As the dancing continues, the figure catches sight of a young couple, hand in hand, laughing as they spin around the fire. She has never known what it is like to be so carefree, but she does know of love and passion. She wonders if the young lovers realize just how precious this moment is, how quickly time will pass, and how their lives will change. She hopes that they will cherish this time together, for it is a gift, a blessing from Eostre herself. The sky begins to darken, the last rays of sunlight casting long shadows across the village. The air grows cooler, and the revelers begin to drift away from the bonfire, seeking warmth and comfort in their homes. The figure rises from her chair, stretching her tired limbs and yawning loudly. She bids farewell to the high priestess and makes her way through the now empty streets, the sound of celebration fading into the distance. As she walks, she can't help but feel a sense of melancholy creep over her. This year's festival has been particularly special, not only because of the abundance of food and drink, but also because of the new life that has sprung forth in the village. There had been several births, and she had felt a renewed sense of hope and purpose. But now, as the night falls and the festival ends, she can't help but feel a sense of loss and longing. She finds herself drawn to a small copse of trees at the edge of the village, a place she often comes to when she needs solitude. The moon hangs heavy in the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the world. She sits down on a mossy rock, takes a final look at the village. "It is time for me to rest now," she thinks to herself. "I need my strength for the fall and winter, so I can bring life back again." Eostre lays down on the grass to slumber yet again, as she has done since the dawn of time. Thank you for listening. Until next time, have a great Easter. Bye-bye.